Hello. Hello, babelets. Hi. Happy Sunday. Can you guys see me and hear me? I'm feeling a little awkward right now. I don't know why. Maybe my setup. Hi. Okay, I'm all over the place. We need to get it together. For this case, there is so much. If my computer shuts down and freezes, I probably wouldn't be surprised because I have 25 tabs open. So hello, welcome. Happy Sunday. Hi, I'm back. Sorry I did not stream yesterday. I took a break. I haven't told you guys about anything going on, which I will share on the second channel, which should have been launching today. So it might actually be tonight or tomorrow morning. We'll talk about more personal things over there. But hello, welcome. Happy Sunday. I hope you guys have had a great weekend. I am Ellie. Welcome to my house. This is my channel. We are all things true crime here. And everyone is welcome as long as we stay respectful and whatnot. Yeah, glad you're doing a live. Yeah, I'm live all day today. What's the second channel name? There is a name, but I'm not going to drop it yet. So once I do officially launch it, then I will give you guys the name and the link, and we can all go over there for anything but true crime, although we can still talk true crime. You guys know I love it. I am going to be available more to you guys for streaming. True crime is one of my priorities. I love it. So I am going to dedicate myself to more of that during the day, which we can talk about later. But for today, we're talking about the Anna Kepner case. Thank you for being here. Please hit the like button and subscribe and turn on your notifications. I do go live all the time at random times. I try to schedule them. Sometimes there's a change of schedule, but that's actually going to be more straightforward from now on. So definitely turn on your notifications. As for the members, shout out to all of you guys who have been supporting. I am going to be doing more members content now since I'm available more throughout the day. So things with the members only will be changing. So definitely, and I'm not budging. Things that are for members are going to stay for members. So definitely consider that on this channel and the second channel. It greatly helps out. As for the likes, it's free, and it's a great way to help support smaller creators and all creators, as well as with the ads. You know, we got to do what we got to do. Documents and all of the stuff you guys know is expensive. So with speaking of Anna Kepner, I know this case has been all over. She's the 18-year-old high school senior who died on the cruise ship. And so we're going to talk about it. I'm trying, I'm only human, to be as organized as I can. There's so much on this case. So I have like clips, court documents, I have a PowerPoint, I have photos. We're going to go through the Reddit. I got social media stuff. So this is actually what a deep dive at 𝗵𝗆𝗿𝗄 would look like. Most of the time we just cover cases 1 to 2 hours long. This might be a little bit longer. I want to make sure since this is the first time covering it here on my channel, I want to make sure we have all the facts. And I might not always have something nice to say, and that's okay. You have your own voice and your own amendment rights, and you're entitled to your opinion, which is respected here. Differing opinions are welcome. This case involves murder. It involves familial issues. It involves custody issues. And I have a lot to say about that. And it might not be so nice, but I feel like it'll come from the heart. And I think I'm wishing for justice for Anna Kepner. It's a pretty horrifying case. And I do have documents from family court. And so we're going to just get into it. Shout out to all of you guys for being here. I might put the comments on the screen. I saw Debbie and I saw Pizza Hut. When Mom Bugs said, "I'm so glad you're getting into this case." I've been sitting on it all week. Olivia says, "I'm excited for you to cover this." Austin says, "Don't come. No one compared to you, Melly." Oh, Olivia, that's really nice. No one compared. Yeah, I'm going to be available for you guys like way more. I'm a little obsessed with you guys. So please do not D&D me. I will be live throughout the day, much more. And I saw 𝗵𝗇𝗏 increase my mods. Hello, Black Rose. Hi. I want to say hello to everyone. Cuff you, Augie. Love you, Augie. Augie has a star. That means she's been a member for a year, but she's been a friend for much longer than that. So shout out to Augie. I saw Light Skin finally caught alive. Miss Laugh a Lot says, I'm glad you're doing a live. I have not followed it from the beginning. Yes, we're going through everything. I have a thorough timeline from Crime Time. I will link them down below. A lot of the timelines I'm talking about tonight come from them, so I do love them. And we have the court hearing too, the family drama court hearing. So there's a lot. We're going through it. Hello, Debbie. Hello, Monica. Oh, okay. I thought I was crazy when I was trying to. No. I'll drop it when I can. True crime type of mind. I'm excited to talk about this. Thank you, Black Rose. Shout out to all of you guys. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up the PowerPoint that I have. We have a lot of information here, guys. So this is Anna Kepner on the screen. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yes, Augie says just showing off my star. Augie has known me for a lot more than this, though. So shout out to you, my girl. I love and appreciate you. Thanks for being a member for a year. Love this Sunday afternoon. Yes, turn on your notifications. I have 2 more lives later, and then we're going to be doing an after dark. So definitely turn on your notifications. So Anna Kepner is an 18-year-old high school senior from Tootsville, Florida. Titusville? Oh, I'm sorry. Not me not being able to talk up here. Well, no one said I was the best pronunciator, but I think I can read a little bit good. So at least there's that, right? So she attended 3 different high schools throughout her high school period. She was a varsity cheerleader. She was very much into girly stuff. She was bright and outgoing, and she was very active in the school and community life. She did love TikTok, and she also had aspirations of enlisting in the Navy, and she dreamed of becoming a police officer. Anna was deeply connected to her faith. She was born on June 13th to her father, Christopher, and her mother, Heather, who divorced when she was 5. Melly, why are you telling us this? This case goes into family ties, and it's dark. It's dark, and I'm horrified, and I think people need to be held accountable, whether it's parents or not. I know we can agree to disagree, but we'll get to that when we get to that. She was basically raised by her stepmom, her bio mom, and her father. Her bio mom was not really in the picture. We will cover that later as well. Why are we talking about Anna Kepner? Because she actually was aboard a cruise ship by the name of Carnival Horizon in early of November 2025, and she was found deceased under a bunk. So yeah, what happened? So she was on this cruise ship with her father and mother, step siblings, and siblings. So it was a little bit of a family trip. I guess it was somewhat celebratory, as she was just going to get ready to enlist into other bigger things into her life. The cruise was the Carnival Horizon. She died inside the cramped cruise ship cabin, which she was sharing with her younger brother and her stepbrother, found on November 7th. So after this slide, I will go into a few articles. We're going to get through them. You guys can get a picture of that, and then we'll watch some clips, and then we'll get into the court documents. So she was deceased. She died from asphyxiation by something caused a bar hold. There was 2 bruises found on her neck. Bruised body as well, allegedly. And everything here is alleged until we hear it from authorities and until, they're facts. And like I said, you make your own opinion. We do not cause harm to anyone mentioned in these videos, but we do have our right to express our opinions and practice our First Amendment rights. So her bruised body was wrapped in a blanket. She was covered by life jackets and stashed under the bed, where her biological brother, I think, slept above her. There were no signs of SA, and I'm a little bit hesitant on this. I think I would need to wait in here and see the autopsy, which I don't know if that's actually available yet. I was not able to locate it as far as a court document. No signs of sexual assault, but that's to be determined, I feel like. Maybe there really wasn't, but I think this situation goes far deeper than we can imagine. Her bio mom, she did not learn about her daughter until she found the information on Google, and her father stayed silent. We will get into all of this more in detail. He did also forbade her biological mother to not attend the memorial service. So there's a lot of family drama involved with this case. And I do think that Anna was failed. I do think she was failed. I'm going to go over the roles of the family in just a second. So I just want to kind of give you guys at least the beginning details. Her stepbrother, TH, is a suspect now in the case. He's 16 years old, and it was alleged that they were fighting hours leading up to her death. And she ended up leaving sick from dinner, and she went back up to her room, and then she was found dead by a housekeeper on the cruise ship. So there's a lot of controversy because he was allowed to drink, who wasn't, what were they doing, why were they in the same, room together, what's all of the secrets with the family, right? And I think this case is a little bit angering. I feel like it's up there with the Celeste Rivas case, which we will be doing a live about later as well. Just a little update hangout. And I feel like it's very much up there, like she was failed by the people that were supposed to be there for her and supporting her and protecting her. So I do think, at least I can say that much. She also, okay, so the questionable behavior, right? So they're on a cruise ship. Who was drinking, who was not? Why were they allowed to sleep together in the same room, stepbrothers or not? I mean, I don't know the dynamics from that firsthand. I don't have any stepbrothers or stepsisters. But there is a lot of alleged information that the stepbrother was obsessed with her and had some involvement with harassing her and whatnot. It definitely was not an accident. I just saw a comment saying that it was not an accident. No, I do not believe it was an accident. Yeah, I was hoping we were doing this. Yes, we are. The parents definitely need to be held accountable as well. I agree. I agree. I don't do cruise ships, so please don't invite me to one. I greatly appreciate it, but yeah, I'm not into that. I'm not into that. Many of you guys will say like, "Why? It's so fun." Um, I'm not into it. I feel like it's like a mini prison, like you're stuck in the water. And at some point it's international waters, right? And like who's to say what can happen there? I don't know. I wouldn't feel safe, but a lot of people say cruise ships, whatever, are a lot of fun. Um, and I guess so be it. To each their own is what I'm saying. You're not gonna catch me on the cruise. Um, so moving on. Okay, so the stepbrother was hospitalized after the incident. So we're gonna get into that a little bit later as well. I want to start with a few articles and then we're going to go into the timeline. Anna is such a beautiful human. I mean, stunning, right? Stunning on the screen. Like, of course, this would happen to her. Melly, why do you say that? Because people can get obsessed. And my heart breaks that she did not to live out her goals. It's really quite sad. So let me pull up. This is Anna on the screen. I'm going to pull up a couple documents. Sorry, there's a lot of screen sharing here going on today. There's a lot I have to share with you guys. So bear with me. I am no Geek Squad employee, so don't come for me. Please, please, please. And then StreamYard is also really annoying. So it's already kind of slowing down on me. Let me pull up the article. Okay. Let me pull up. Here we go. So, and yes, please do hit that like button. So let's get through this article to start off with. It says Texas teen found dead on Carnival cruise, died by asphyxiation resulting from bar hold. Let me make sure. Okay, yeah, you guys can see. So it says Anna Kepner, a teenager who was found dead on a Carnival Horizon cruise ship this month, died by asphyxiation resulting from a bar hold, an arm across the neck. A source briefed on the investigation. Investigators also found two bruises on the side of her neck, the source said. The FBI has continued to decline comment, citing the ongoing investigation. The Miami-Dade Medical Examiner's Office declined to comment on Friday. She is so pretty. Um, this is her right here. Wow. According to the source, the preliminary information indicates there were no signs of SA and there did not appear to be drugs or alcohol in Kepner's system. Autopsy and toxicology reports that could confirm those details have not been completed. The 18-year-old cheerleader from Titusville, Florida, was reported dead while aboard the Carnival Horizon cruise ship on November 8th. Kepner was found dead under a bed, wrapped in a blanket, and covered by life vest, according to a security source briefed on the investigation. A court filing in the unrelated family court matter noted Kepner's step-sibling could face charges. The filing said the FBI is conducting an investigation arising out of the sudden death of the 18-year-old Anna Kepner. Chantel Hudson, Kepner's stepmother, who I will go into later, was also on the cruise ship along with her children and Kepner's father, and requested a delay in her custody hearing because one of her minor children may face criminal charges, according to the filing. So I have a lot to say once we get into the family role stuff. I do have a lot to say about this family dynamic that was going on here. There's a lot. There's a lot of family stuff going on here. And I think that Anna could have better been protected and heard about what was going on around her. So that was the first article that I wanted to share with you. The next article is regarding her mother. So this one says, Anna Kepner's mom learned of Crew's death on Google as ex-husband stayed silent. There was a lot of tension within these custody agreements and divorce and stuff. And like, honestly, when I got into the family stuff, I'm like, okay, you could have just divorced and took some time and focused on your children, because holy shit, there's a lot going on with this family. And whoever knew about what was going on should be held accountable. 1000%, in my opinion. So this is Anna again on the screen. Oh my God, my heart breaks for her every time I look at her pictures. It really does. So it says, in an age of hyperconnectivity, the notification of a child's sudden death should come with compassion and directness, not through a search engine result. Yet for Heather Wright, the horrific realization that her teenage daughter had been killed aboard a holiday cruise did not arrive via a phone call from family or authorities. Instead, the devastating truth was revealed through the cold glow of a smartphone screen, where the nightmare was already trending. Which is wild to me. Wright alleges that her estranged husband made no attempt to inform her of the tragedy due to their fractured relationship and bitter history. Consequently, she learned of the incident only after her young son mentioned a disturbing rumor he heard from a friend, and that his sister was murdered on a cruise ship. Panic set immediately. Desperate for answers and hoping the story was a cruel mistake, Wright attempted to reach an 18-year-old Anna Kepner by phone and checked TikTok, but she received no reply. The Google search confirms the worst fears. Turning to the internet in a state of growing dread, Wright typed a grim query into her browser. Then I Googled 18-year-old died on cruise ship, and that's when my daughter's face popped up all over Google. That's what she told News Nation, which we will be watching in just a second. The mother claims that even law enforcement has failed to bridge the communication gap, alleging they have not contacted her in weeks following the death on November 7th. The silence from her father, Christopher Kepner, was intentional, according to Wright. She stated that he made it extremely difficult for her to even have a relationship with her daughter, resulting in a dynamic where she only spoke to the teen on holidays and birthdays. This estrangement culminated in a shocking exclusion from the final farewell. My heart breaks for the mom and Anna, who weren't able to have a normal mother-daughter relationship. But at the same time, as adults, I think you know what you're doing, and I think you know the risk of your actions. And that sounds really cold. But the reasons for her being gone, I don't find, or being absent from Anna's life, I don't find legitimate. I cannot say that I sit here and support her biological mother, and that's a personal feeling. You don't have to feel that way. I just think that her mother did raise her as well, and this is not the place to judge. But I will judge a little bit because why did everybody fail her? It goes back to 𝗵𝗆𝗿𝗃. It goes back to Celeste Riva. Like there's so many cases we've covered regarding of even Sebastian Rogers and Summer Wells. Like being failed by parents. And I know I can say from personal experience, having dealt with mental health issues and having dealt with really bad family trauma. So I feel like I can speak from experience, and I call bullshit on the whole entire family. That's how I feel. The animosity between the parents reportedly extended to the memorial service held earlier this week. Wright claims Christopher Kepner forbade her attendance, asserting that Anna would not have wanted her there, a claim Wright rejected as a lie. The situation escalated to threats of legal action involving financial disputes. We're going to see some of the posts from Anna as well, where she does talk about her parents. And I think those speak for themselves is what all I'm going to say. Quote unquote, he said, "If I step foot in Florida, I will have you arrested immediately for back child support," Wright recalled. Despite the threat, she was determined to see her daughter one last time. She attended the service incognito, wearing a wig and really tall high heels to disguise her height and appearance. "Nobody spotted me. I kind of stayed in the back close to the door. So if I needed to make a quick getaway, I could," she said. While family tensions ran high on land, the details emerging about the crime at sea are equally disturbing. Reports indicate that her 16-year-old stepbrother is being investigated in connection with the death, though no suspects have been officially named. Wright was unaware of this relative who allegedly harbored a creepy obsession with Anna and had previously climbed into her bed. Some of you are like, I know Melly's going to talk a lot of shit right now. Because I am. I absolutely am. Hey, Skyla. Good to see you, love. Did I see Hossein? Oh my God, I've been wondering where Hossein was. Totally, Melly agrees. So tragic. I'm not taking up for her mother, but she only started doing rugs after her husband had an affair. Yes, we are going to get into that. But taking rugs is a personal choice, right? If you want to do meth, a little bit of E, you want to drink all day, I don't judge. I don't judge unless other people are hurt. Like, really, I'm really much that person. I don't care what people do in their personal lives as long as it's not hurting me and others. Girl, you go do what you want. Like, really, I support it 1000%. And there's a lot here with the dynamic with her bio mom. Anna did not really feel so content about her. But nonetheless, it is terrible that Anna died and people are dealing with this, especially her bio mom, who, didn't have a close relationship with her. So I can probably assume that regret and disappointment lies heavily on their heart. According to the ex-boyfriend of the victim, which we're going to watch an interview on him as well, I got all the receipts. Anna and the stepbrother were fighting in the hours leading up to her death. When her body was discovered in the cabin she shared with her stepbrothers, it had been wrapped in a blanket, covered by life jackets, and stashed under a bed. And I know like law enforcement has their rules or whatnot and like whatever. I do highly appreciate law enforcement, whatever they do. But I am also a believer in that just because it's not illegal or law enforcement says it's not illegal or legal, I don't completely live by that. I think there's a lot of, and that goes into another whole conversation about spirituality, religion, like it stems from all of that. I think that her parents knowing about the situation with the stepbrother, should be a crime. And whether the court agrees with specific things or not, I still believe in my heart that specific things should be a crime and an eye for an eye. I know that sounds really scary. You're like, oh, Melly, but I really do believe that. According to a source close to the investigation, Anna died from asphyxiation caused by a bar hold and arm across her neck. Authorities noted she had 2 bruises on the side of her throat. The death remains under scrutiny as questions regarding the stepbrother's involvement in the family's tragic dynamics continue to mount. And I got all the receipts about all that family dynamic stuff, which we're going to absolutely cover in just a second. So let me pull up. I want you guys to see, before I go into the timeline, I want you to see her mom's TikTok. That way we know who we're talking about and what is, going on. There is also a little short clip with the ex-boyfriend who I'm going to play since he was mentioned in this article. So on the screen is her biological mom. This is her TikTok. This is all public information, all on Google, all accessible to anyone in the world who can use a computer. So I am practicing within fair use here on YouTube, might I say. Might I say, okay, Melly, shut up. Who is this on the screen? Okay, this is her mom. This is her bio mom. You know what? Let me go back to the other one so you guys can see better. Oof, StreamYard is not really my favorite lately. What shall we do about this? Oh, hold on. Okay, whatever. For now, we'll do this one. This is her mom. Okay. Just Mom 1984. One Little Hot Mess is the username. One Little Hot Mess. Yeah, perfect. What did I miss? We're just starting for celebrities. Hello. I think the stepbrother thought the cruise would be his chance to have his way with Anna. Okay. Why is the family allowing them to be around each other when he's obsessed with her? Question mark? Question mark? Yes, Melanie loves her being grumpy. Yes, dad had an affair. Dad is yuck in my book. Hey, Justice Jane, good to see you. Melanie, I completely agree with you. Okay, good. I'm glad you're covering this. I need all the details. I got them for you, babe. I got them for you. Is she on rugs? Says Augie. Yes, I think there was a rug issue. So this is her mom, and this is a post she did about Anna. We're going into all the tea here, babes. Oh, wait. Okay, why the music? Hold on, I need to find a way to shut that off because I will be in trouble. I know there's a way. Oh, here we go. Okay, so this is her mom basically saying that she saw the post of Anna online. She says, my beautiful baby girl was found dead Friday, and I just found out last night her dad and stepmom didn't even try to contact me. So I'm going to give that to God and let him sort it out, along with whoever did this to my baby girl. Anna Marie, I miss you so much. You have no idea how shattered I am. Please forgive me for not being there. I'm sorry. And this is a little lesson. Like, Melly, are we in school today? We're having a little lesson about our feelings and stuff. Yes, this is like, okay, for me, I'm like, all right, that's really sad. But again, what made you fail to be a parent with your daughter? Rugs, all right, okay, cool. We've all been there. I know, I'm a little harsh. Yeah, I'm not like, loving this whole bio mom not being present for most of her life. Allegedly, she hadn't been present for her within the last 2 years. I do love that song, but YouTube is so anal lately. So there's that. I'm just gonna play a couple more, like, this is her.
I'll say it louder for those in the back. Just because I have a vagina does not stop me from believing that my balls are bigger than yours.
Yeah. Melly, what is this? Yeah, I don't know. This is on TikTok. That's her bio mom. So let's go to another one because that one kind of scared me a little bit.
one of two things will pop into your head. Either one, I'm okay, I'm fine. I can beat this.
Yeah, I'm speechless. This is her, this is Anna's bio mom. Oh, wow, says Mo. So now you know when I bring it up in the court documents who the hell I'm talking about. Okay, that's enough of that. I'm moving on. That's her bio mom. Now we're gonna watch the clip that was mentioned in that article with her ex-boyfriend basically talking about how he knew there was something going on with the stepbrother. If this were my child, I would have not been in disguise at her funeral. And I'm sorry, but her mother's clearly trashed too. She needed all new parents. Poor baby, says Valerie. Wow, WTF, says Vanjie. Vanjie's like, what did I walk into? Wow, I didn't see. Yeah. Yeah, no comment anymore. I have no comment anymore. Okay, let's watch. This is a 2-minute clip of her ex-boyfriend. Hey, Cuffy, good to see you, love. This is really interesting. I was like, what the hell? What the helly is going on? Okay, let's play this.
Anna Kepner, the 18-year-old high school cheerleader who was found dead on a cruise ship. It's being reported she died of asphyxiation after an arm was held against her neck. This all comes as we speak with Anna's ex-boyfriend, who says loud screams and chairs being thrown were heard inside Anna's cabin before her naked body was found shoved under a bed. 𝗵𝗲𝗿𝗄 has the latest.
Was 18-year-old cheerleader Anna Kepner strangled to death aboard the cruise ship? ABC News reports that Anna died from asphyxiation. She was strangled with a bar hold using an arm across her neck. She was not sexually assaulted, and there were no signs of drugs or alcohol.
He would bring you home.
Hours before she was found dead on the cruise ship, the sound of a violent confrontation reportedly could be heard inside her stateroom. We're told Anna's 14-year-old brother Connor says he tried to get into the stateroom that he, Anna, and their 16-year-old stepbrother were sharing, but that it was locked. Anna and the stepbrother were still inside, and Connor reportedly says he could hear disturbing sounds through the door. Anna's ex-boyfriend says he spoke to the cheerleader's brother about what happened that night.
You heard him yelling at her, like in a harmful way, of like, shut the hell up and stuff like that. And that's when Connor knew something was going on.
And there was screaming going on.
Yes, ma'am. Like something was like banging around and stuff, and like the chairs were getting thrown around in the room.
Anna's ex, Joshua, too, spoke with Inside Edition following her funeral at a church outside Orlando. He says that Anna was so afraid of her stepbrother that she frequently slept over at her friends' homes.
She just didn't feel safe around him.
Joshua says the 16-year-old stepbrother, who is now under suspicion in Anna's death, was sexually harassing her. He says he once saw him trying to climb into bed with her.
She's scared to tell anybody because she was scared that he would do something to her.
The FBI is investigating Anna's death because it happened in international waters. There was a tense atmosphere at Anna's funeral last night. Anna's biological mother told Inside Edition she was banned from attending but snuck in wearing a wig. Mourners were told to dress in bright colors to reflect Anna's bubbly personality.
It's been pretty hard. She was my first love. She was the greatest thing ever.
Okay, I'm screaming. I wanted to yell, not at you guys, but what the hell? Okay, so if the boyfriend knows that the stepbrother is a creep and obsessed with her, then clearly the family also knew. And I do believe somebody knew. They did share a room on the cruise. Sexually harassing her. And I don't want to victim blame. I don't. But I question why the bio brother, if he heard disturbing sounds, why wouldn't you call an adult or the police? And or was he being threatened? Your stepbrother is obsessed with you and he had creeped into bed with you and laid on top of you. I mean, what the hell? Like, what the actual hell? Let's play a clip of the mom. Let's move on there next because we just watched a bit of her, and so we might as well just finish. This is a 3-minute clip interview with the mom. I have 2 clips with the mom, and I wanted to play them both here right now because they're very, very short, but I think it helps us get a lot of insight.
Funeral services today for Anna, the 18-year-old cheerleader who was found dead on a cruise ship. We know her stepbrother is under suspicion, and he was allegedly obsessed with Anna. We've got the latest, including an exclusive interview with the dead teen's mother, who reveals she has been banned from attending her daughter's funeral, but is going anyway in disguise. 𝗵𝗲𝗿𝗲 reports.
There's chilling new allegations today about the death of an 18-year-old cheerleader on a cruise ship. Anna Kepner's 16-year-old stepbrother, who is now under suspicion in her death, was said to be obsessed with her.
She was scared of him because he always carried around a big knife.
Stephen Weston says his son Joshua, who was dating Anna,
Scared of him because he always carried around a big knife. Oh my gosh, I have something to say, but I'll wait.
witnessed a disturbing incident during a FaceTime call.
He saw her stepbrother come in the room when she was sleeping and get on top of her.
He says that Joshua warned Anna's family what had happened.
He says, "Dad, I tried to tell the parents that this was happening, and they didn't want to believe me." He's like infatuated, attracted to her like crazy. He's always wanted to date her.
Inside Edition producer Emma
This is why I have nothing nice to say about Christopher and all the girlfriends and stepmoms that he's brought around Anna.
Katie is in Titusville, Florida.
Anna's funeral is being held here today at the Grove Church. Because the investigation into her death involves her stepbrother, we're told there's a lot of tension among family members, and some even told they're not welcome here today.
Inside Edition also spoke exclusively to Anna's biological mother, Heather, who says she was told not to attend, but says she was determined to say goodbye to her daughter and will go in disguise.
Heather, what are you going to do to get in?
I'm going to put a wig on and wear some really tall shoes because I'm 4'9".
Heather and Anna's father, Christopher Kepner, divorced 13 years ago when Anna was
Okay, well, when you're going to do something like that, why announce it?
5. Anna, affectionately known in the family as Anna Banana, was found dead in her stateroom aboard the cruise ship Carnival Horizon. She was sharing a room like this one with her 14-year-old brother and the 16-year-old stepbrother. There was a queen-sized bed. That's where Anna slept, and bunk beds for the 2 boys. Published reports say the 14-year-old was out exploring the huge cruise ship when Anna died. When the boy returned, he slept in his bunk, not realizing Anna's naked body had been stuffed under her bed just feet away. The sleeping arrangements came up in a divorce hearing today between the 16-year-old suspect's parents. His mother revealed that the 16-year-old is under psychiatric care.
I have so much to say about this when we get to the court hearing. This live is for adults only.
I speak has a psychiatrist appointment on December 1st.
She sat impassively as her ex-husband's attorney spoke about the cruise.
The 16-year-old was allowed to drink. The teenagers were given their own room in which to stay. Just a lot of circumstances that showed that the mother in this case was not exercising appropriate supervision over this child.
I agree with that attorney. Okay, there's so much to uncover there. One, I get it. I'm not a mother, but I know because of my parents and I'm close with them, and I know that they would do anything for me, but they would definitely draw the line. And I'm going to say this before we get into all of the court documents. I believe in my heart that mother who we're going to see in the court hearing, Chantel, knows exactly what her son was and was doing. I know it's like taboo to talk about it in some cultures, like familial problems, SA. I get it. Or even mental health. But that mother knew what her son was and the previous issues that had been going on with him. So and she knew, and she's protecting him. and I'm disgusted, and she needs to be arrested as well. Like, she's right up there with like Jen Soto and what's her name? The girl, Haro. Melly, why are you forgetting? Jake and what's her name? Oh my gosh, I'm like spacing it. You know who I'm talking about. The Haros. I guess her name is easy to forget, but nonetheless, you know what what mental health issues your child is going through, and you know what issues are going through with the family. Rebecca, thank you, cuff you. Yes, Rebecca. Why did I forget that? I don't know. Rebecca Haro. She's up there with Jen Soto, dumb potato. Arrest Jen Soto, arrest Sebastian Rogers' stepmom, arrest this stepmom. Jennifer and James Crumley too. Yeah, exactly. She knew, and she's protecting her son, and she still is protecting her son. And the whole like, oh, he's now getting mental help, the stepbrother. They haven't come out and said that, but in the court documents, it does say his name, abbreviation of TH. And, you know, a little too late. Like, if your son is having mental health issues, maybe you should have thought of that before he murdered his stepsister on the cruise ship. And I feel like they're using it now as an excuse to get him a slap on the wrist. Oh, he has mental health issues, la la. Okay, maybe he does. So then, therefore, you shouldn't have put them together in the room, and you shouldn't have had them together at all. I'm kind of angry about this. So forgive me if I come off sounding like I'm being inconsiderate, but I'm actually not. And I think most of you would agree with that. I'm going to play another clip. It's a 4-minute clip of her mom talking as well. Sebastian doesn't have a stepmom. I'm sorry, a stepdad. What's her name? I'm forgetting all the names of the parents today. I'm angry too, says Black Rose. The poor girl's living in danger of being assaulted at home every day, and at least 3 adults were aware and did nothing. And my thing is the dad, Christopher. Why are you defending your wife, who's not even her bio mom, and her stepchildren over your daughter? Because as far as I'm concerned, up to right now, he's still with her, and I'm just disgusted. I'm disgusted. I don't really have anything nice to say about the bio dad, the bio mom, nor the stepmother. So I think they all need to be held accountable and arrested. I know that sounds really harsh, but it's true. Let's watch this one with her bio mom real quick. Again, this is from News Nation.
My ex-husband did not try to contact me at all whatsoever to let me know that my daughter died. I found out because I live in Oklahoma, and my youngest son goes to school with a good friend of mine's nephew, and he told her nephew that his sister was murdered on a cruise ship. So I got a text message saying, hey, is Anna on a cruise? And you need to find out right away and call me. And I was like, do what? So I called Anna's cell phone. She didn't answer. So then I got a hold of her on TikTok. Well, tried to get a hold of her on TikTok. She still didn't answer. So I started questioning, why is she asking me about that? So I got on my ex-husband's Facebook, where there was nothing on there. So I got on to 𝗀𝗃𝗵𝗃, his second wife's Facebook, as the woman that raised my daughter. And there I seen a picture of her car with flowers on it, and 𝗀𝗃𝗵𝗃 saying they were going to leave it at the high school for a short time as a memorial for Anna. And so that's when I Googled 18-year-old dies on cruise ship is what I put in the search bar, and that's when my daughter's face popped up all over Google.
I cannot even imagine. Yeah, I just, honest to God, I cannot even imagine finding out about your daughter's death by Googling and not getting a call. And to make matters worse, there was a celebration of life. I'm not sure if it was a full-fledged.
I don't want to forget. Thank you, Beautifully Broken Toots. Thank you, love, for gifting 5 memberships. That is so kind of you. I appreciate you supporting me. And all of the people who got a membership say thank you to Beautifully Broken Toots.
But there was some kind of memorial held yesterday, and I'm told that you were banned, that your ex-husband banned you from going. Can you walk me through what happened and what the circumstances were?
he told me that when I told him I was coming down there, he said that that he knew for a fact that Anna would not want me there. And I said, that's a lie. I was like, but whatever. And he goes, if you step foot in Florida, I will have you arrested immediately for back child support.
And so you went anyway, right?
Yeah.
In disguise?
Of course. Yeah, I wore a wig and I wore some really tall high heels, so that way, you know, if he was looking for somebody short, he wouldn't see me.
And were you able to attend the funeral? Did anyone see you or spot you? Like, tell me what happened next when you got there.
Nobody spotted me. I kind of stayed in the back, close to the door, so if I needed to make a quick getaway, I could. It was really nice. They had a lot of pictures of my daughter. I didn't see her dad, but then again, I wasn't trying to either. I stayed for a little bit, but I didn't stay for the whole thing. My anxiety got too high, and I had to go.
And what? Tell me a little bit about the funeral. What was said about Anna at the funeral?
They just talked about how she was a great kid and she did really well in school. She wanted to join the military. She had her boating license before she was able to get her driver's license.
Do you know anything about the suspect in this case? And I say suspect not because police have said it. It's the 16-year-old stepbrother. Do you know anything about the stepbrother and the dynamic between Anna and him?
No, because I didn't even know that Tabitha and Christopher had gotten a divorce. I didn't even know he remarried. Like I said, Christopher and I do not talk whatsoever, and he made it extremely difficult for me to even have a relationship with my daughter. And the last time I seen my daughter, he again made me look like a piece of shit. So when I was getting on the airplane, I flipped him off and called him a few choice words I probably shouldn't have. And he told my daughter that I was telling her that. I was talking to her. So at that point, Anna kind of stopped talking to me. So I call her on her birthday and holiday, but that's about it.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our new.
Okay, so even just with that interview alone, we can hear how much drama there was going on with that family. And so you guys don't get confused. I did make a little slide about the family roles. So you guys have to we're going to have to keep track here. Okay, babes. Okay. We have to keep track. There's a lot going on. Get your pencils out if you need them, please. Let's see. Okay. So hold on. Let me get to that slide. This is beautiful Anna right here again. Okay. Here we go. Family roles. All right. Are you ready? Okay. Biological mother, Heather. Stepmother who raised Anna since the age of 5, Tabitha. Her current partner and stepmother figure at the time of death is Chantel. So Heather's the bio mom. He had an affair with Tabitha, leaves Tabitha, divorces Tabitha, and is now with Chantel, who is the mother of the PDF file stepbrother. Allegedly, my opinion only. The father is Christopher P. Kepner. So June 24th, 2026, marriage of Christopher P. Kepner and Heather. Christopher P. marries Heather in Brevard County, Florida. This ceremony is performed by notary Sandra K. in Mims, Florida. Okay, so basically, Melly, why are you giving us all this information? You're right. I think that you guys get the picture. Okay, so those are the parental figures who failed her in her life. Let's touch on a little bit of the timeline before we hop into the court hearing. Here we go. So August 1st, 2025, Anna posts about her strained relationship with her biological mother. We're going to cover these TikToks in just a little bit. On August 20th, she posted a TikTok thanking her stepmother, her father, and her grandparents. And Anna posts a slideshow expressing gratitude to the family members who supported her and raised her. I'm going to pull up these TikToks so we can play them as we are reading through the timeline. Here is one of the TikToks. This is off Anna's TikTok. It's very interesting. I don't know why that's not playing. Okay, there we go. She says, true, hashtag real mom. She says, you think you can hurt me? And then she says, nah. Let me make sure you guys can see this. Yes. She says, nah. Then she says, I have sat here and heard and watched my mom ruin her life and done nothing for me in life but try to make mine like hers. She has not tried to fight for me. She has not tried to actually have a conversation with me. All she cares about is herself and drugs. So I think I will be fine if you don't like me. And now she sits in jail as we speak. And honestly, I hope she learned something while being in there, because if she's done anything in her life, it's make her kids not even know who she is anymore. Thank you. This is what she is posting about her bio mom, you guys. So that's what that in the timeline. She's so pretty. Imagine posting that about your bio mom. How sad. Anyways, I showed you guys to prove that their relationship was anything but well. I'm going to play another TikTok, the second one that I mentioned, where she posted about her dad and at least her dad was there for her, but clearly her dad wasn't there for her when someone was sexually harassing her and he knew about it. Everyone failed her. I agree, Calissa. I agree. This is another post that she did. It's really sad. This one says, hey mom, can you come to she says basically in the bio, thank you guys for everything. Thank you, mom, for stepping up and being a mom I thought I would never have. I love you guys so much. Hashtag stepmom, hashtag dad, hashtag 𝗵𝗲𝗶𝗁𝗆. I love you guys, which is her grandparents. So the picture says, hey mom, can you come to my varsity meeting? I'm getting lettered. And then it says, thanks, dad. So basically her dad's the only one showing up for her. Then this one says, hey mom, I'm going to Georgia, in front of a car. And then it says, thanks, dad. She posts a picture with her dad. And then she says, hey mom, can you help me go get my license? And then she said, thanks, dad. And then she says, hey mom, can we go to Illinois? And she says, thanks, dad. So she's basically proving how her mother failed to be there for her. Hey mom, can we go on a cruise? Thank you, 𝗵𝗲𝗶𝗁𝗆. Her grandparents bought and paid for the cruise. Hey mom, I'm a senior now. Can you help me paint my parking spot? And then it says, and then it has a picture of her stepmom, Chantel, and her dad. This is the mother of the stepbrother. It's really sad to see her post all of this sad stuff about her mom. And I wanted to show you guys, because I'm not just reading from the articles. This is actually what was on her own personal TikTok account. Let me check in with you guys. Hey, Lakeside Lawyer, good to see you. Patty says, so sad. Everyone failed her. Yes, everyone did. Another messed up family, another child. Yeah, I'm sure her mom is still grieving. Yes, I do feel for her. And she has a right to attend her daughter's memorial service. But also, like, you know, what did you do wrong? And failing to be there for her. I think we need to take accountability, and we need to hold for ourselves in general, just with everything in life and in the true crime community. I think we need to hold people accountable as well, which I'm talking about parents. I wonder if her grandparents knew about the situation with the stepbrother, like were they told and they didn't step in? How can dad Hey, Dad, can you get this 16-year-old creep away from me? Exactly, Sunshine. If she had a decent mother, she would likely be alive. And that's just on facts, guys. I really do wholeheartedly believe that as well. Let's continue with the timeline. So October 26th, the TikTok post reflects on emotional struggles. Anna posted a TikTok about relationships, manipulation, and emotional hurt. She writes about being lied to, cheated on, used, manipulated, and played. Anna says she is upset but not angry and believes people make mistakes. She says the experiences helped her understand what she does not want in her life. She ends by hoping others learn from her behavior so they do not treat anyone else that way. So here's a cruise timeline before we get into a couple of the other clips. Final days at sea, November 2nd to November 7th, 2025. November 2nd, departed on Carnival Horizon, 3:30 p.m. The family boarded the Carnival Horizon in Miami for a 6-night Western Caribbean cruise. According to the itineraries, the ship departed at approximately 3:30 p.m. with a scheduled return to Miami on Saturday, November 8th, 2025. Family boards and settles into stateroom 8367. Ship begins 6-night Western Caribbean itinerary. The visited ports include Jamaica, the Grand Cayman, Mexico. Anna, 18, was sharing the Carnival Horizon stateroom with 2 younger siblings, described as her 14-year-old brother and 16-year-old stepbrother. I really am stuck on why the brother didn't call the authorities or someone else when he heard all that noise going on in the room. November 6th, dinner. Anna left dinner early that night, telling family she felt unwell and returned to the cabin to rest. Anna, 18, was sharing the Carnival Horizon stateroom with 2 younger siblings, described as her I'm repeating myself. The 2 boys returned later in the evening. The younger brother reportedly changed his clothes and left again to take photos of the ship during the Caribbean sailing. When he returned, he did not see Anna in her bed, but believed she had gone out again with the adults. Surveillance footage reportedly captured Anna returning to her cabin that night, with no footage of her exiting again. November 7th, Friday, the approximate time. Morning. Christopher Kepner, 41 years old, her dad, and stepmom Chantel Hudson, 36, gathered for family breakfast the next day, the next day, and there was no sign of Anna at this breakfast. The family began searching the ship, but it was eventually a maid who stumbled across Anna's body when she entered the cabin, 11:17 a.m. According to Miami-Dade County Medical Examiner's Office, Anna's time of death was recorded at approximately 11:17 a.m. on Friday, November 7th. So am I tripping, or is this basically saying that he killed her or someone killed her and she died that morning of breakfast? Because in the morning they go to breakfast at 11:17 a.m. She is found. I wonder if she was able to rest. I don't think so. Remind me of Xana's mom from Idaho 4. She lived with stepdad, stepmom was homeless. Yeah, it does. That's what I thought of too. Very sad, especially she had so much potential and beautiful life ahead of her. Makes me sad this happened to a beautiful young girl. Yeah, I agree with you guys. Well, she was beautiful. She should not have shared a room with boys, period. Brothers or not. This was like something my parents were really strict about too. So I don't know how you guys are as parents, but like my dad would not have allowed that. He would have been like, go sleep by yourself. Like, you know what I mean? If anything. But also they would have checked on me. Like if she went home the night prior, back to the room is what I mean by home, but it's back to the room because she wasn't feeling good at dinner. Why did nobody go check on her? Why didn't her family go check on her? Oh, that's the time she was found. Okay, thank you, true crime. So she was found at 11:17 a.m. So did she die overnight? Did she die that morning? obviously she was dead, right? Because the brother slept and he didn't know that she was under the bunk. So could she have been unalived right after she left for dinner? Imagine her bio brother not knowing he's sleeping above his dead sister. That is really crazy. I wanted to share this post as well. This is like the what do you call it? The statement from the Carnival people, November 7th. Autopsy report will show what time. Well, allegedly, yeah, I hope so, because that would be very interesting. Exactly. Check on them. That's just weird to me. I know for a fact they can see who goes in and out of the rooms. Yeah, I'm sure they know, and I'm sure that's why he's being a suspect. Oh, my parents would have put me in the room with them rather than my brothers. That's what I'm saying. That's what my parents would have done too. And I'm just wondering, why didn't they get her own room? Like, was it the cost? Okay, well, don't go on a cruise if you can't afford all of that. You know what I mean? Like, sit your ass at home. I don't know. Just maybe some advice. So this statement says, "Dear Carnival Horizon guest, we have made arrangements for you to have priority debarking on tomorrow morning. Authorities will be joining the ship first thing upon arrival to complete an investigation and will be in the area of your hallway. It could be noisy and disruptive, so we kindly ask that you be out of your stateroom by 7 a.m. We will have breakfast for you and Meridian deck 4 starboard side, and then our team will escort you off the ship ahead of other guests." And I thought something was really crazy about this. So they find a dead body, and then the Carnival or whatever, this company with the cruise ship, dude, they go back to normal programming like the next day. And I'm like, wait. Isn't that like a crime scene? They had that section shut off from what I heard on the next trip. But I'm like, wait. It goes back to Amy Bradley. Like, hold on, stop the damn cruise ship. Like, let the authorities get all up in there. There's 4,000 people on each one of these cruise ships. Why are people just being let off and then starting to travel again? I know they have to get back to business, but like, there was just a dead body found in there. Like, it really does blow my mind. And sorry, Carnival, it shows how shitty you are and how you don't really care for your customers. So I guess there's that. Which I think is shady. November 14th, her family held a celebration of life scheduled for November 20th. On November 17th, an official claim. A man identifying himself as Martin Donahue, who states he is Anna's uncle, posted a public statement on X. So I bring that up because I want to share the post that this timeline brings into the picture. Let me pull it up. So here's the post. It says, from Martin Donahue. "I need everyone's help on this," he says. "If you haven't heard the story, then you have been living under a rock. This is my niece, Anna Kepner. She was 18 and was on a cruise with her dad, stepmom, and other family members. I cannot stay silent about the matter any longer. The stepmom's son killed her, stuffed her naked, beaten body in a sheet, and stuffed her under a bed, covered her with life jackets. Then slept on the bed like nothing happened. He told his stepmom when no one could find Anna on the ship. So yes, they know who did this, and it sickens me that the father, Chris, remains silent about it. Please pass this on till maybe it gets to someone who can do something about it. If nothing is done, it will all come out on the 20th at least. That's when the stepmom has said after treating family if they talk before they will be banded for the remembrance of life for Anna. Please pass this so my family can get closure and the people who did this and lied and staled to tell the rest of us what happened when it did. Now you just all look guilty of a cover-up. And this right here, at first when I heard first about this case and started getting ready to cover it, I'm like, okay, I'll give the benefit of the doubt. But after he posted this, I'm like, oh shit, here's the drama, the family drama that we all needed to know about. Because you guys, I'm going to say it again, and I don't want to sound like a broken record, but they all knew about it. And Chantel needs to be arrested for allowing her son to sleep in that room. You're responsible for your son who has mental health issues. And you all knew he was being a perv with Anna. So I don't have anything nice to say. My dad would have never married anyone who had a son because my dad didn't trust anyone near my sister or I. He was a very strict Italian man. Yeah, I come from a Hispanic family, and like, you guys, my dad, we talk about this all the time too. It's weird. But like, my dad will be like, my mom will be like, oh, what if one day something happens to me? And like, my dad don't even play. Like, he's like, oh, I'll be living with Melly then. Cause like, he knows and he's been warned. Like, if you ever bring anyone around, even though I'm older and I can take care of myself, I'm like, no, I'm just very protective. I guess I'm just crazy. After a certain age, opposite genders sleep in separate beds, not even in the same room. I think it's weird when you are old enough and going through puberty or have gone through puberty. What's the evidence of this kid's obsession with his sister? That's a good question. Mallory says, WTF. Calissa says, I grew up in a family where parents could not be trusted to protect us or make good choices. My dad was also a full-blown addict, but never failed in protecting me. I think it made him worse. LOL, super trick, but he passed. Right. Okay, let's go back to this timeline. I want to show you guys that post. So that was on November the 17th. And on that same day, an emergency motion for temporary relief is filed by Thomas Hudson. So that's Chantel's ex. We're going to get into that court document in a second. That same day, an official court filing confirms an FBI criminal investigation involving a minor from the cruise. A stipulation is signed on November 17th, placing TH with a relative of the mother. So he did this, he's a suspect, and now he's hanging out with a relative. He's not allowed to be with his mom, Chantel. The filing states that this placement was made to ensure the safety of the youngest child of the parties and the safety of the remaining child of the stepfather. It further notes that the father is believed to have retained legal counsel for TH in connection with the alleged incident involving TH and the death of the stepfather's child, Anna. November 18th, Chantel Hudson files a formal response to the father's emergency motion. We're going to read both of these court documents. November 19th, interview with biological mother, Heather, which we've already heard. November 20th, the remote court hearing, which we will also hear and watch. November 21st, unconfirmed media report report regarding preliminary investigation. December 1st, which is in the future, and this is where things have left off. Allegedly, TH has a psychiatric appointment. If he's a suspect and he has a psychiatric appointment, I think that's not okay. I think he needs to be in a facility where he is guarded by law enforcement. Why he is out with family, going to therapist blows my mind, because really, how does that protect anyone? We go to therapists all day. I'm big on therapy. I actually enforce and recommend everyone go to therapy. I find it lovely. It can take a lot of time and it's expensive, but if you can, why not? It's always nice to hear opinions about someone that doesn't know you that can help you, right? So if he's going to a therapist appointment and he is a suspect, like, why is he out walking amongst citizens in society, right? I don't think that's safe. And that's a failure on the courts and law enforcement, I believe. So the next hearing is supposed to be on December 5th, which is a custody hearing. So where this criminal hearing stands in place, I'm not sure. But you know, these family issues were happening far earlier than her being stuffed under the bed. And that's where I have a problem with a lot of this. So, you guys know about the family roles that I told you, and we're going to go into a family timeline. But I do want to read the obituary. I want to share that with you guys first. And I want to read through it. And then I'll touch back with you guys on the comments. Why is that not coming up? Okay, there we go. So this is the obituary. So this says Anna Marie Kepner obituary. How can we possibly capture every bit of beauty that was Anna Marie Kepner? Our Anna Banana, our sunshine, our baby girl at just 18 years old. She filled the world with laughter, love, and light that reached everyone around her. Anna was pure energy, bubbly, fun, outgoing, and completely herself. She never had a filter, and that was part of her charm. Whether she was practicing new makeup looks, making TikToks in front of the mirror, or blasting a perfectly curated playlist on the boat, Anna lived every day with her whole heart. She loved the sun, the water, boat days, island days, and beach days. Anything that let her soak in the light, she so easily radiated to others. She loved her siblings deeply and made sure they always felt it, whether it be taking them to the park, Halloween horror nights, or just out for fun, because that's who she was: thoughtful, nurturing, and always thinking of others. She had a big, beautiful heart, often sending random "I love you" messages or little gestures that made someone's day. Anna loved kids, dolphins, butterflies, arts and crafts, and doing puzzles with 𝗵𝗲𝗍𝗀. She had the best quote unquote blonde moments, the kind that made everyone laugh. And her famous quote unquote "I got a poop" joke will be one her family never forgets. Whoever's house was closest got the surprise visit. Anna loved all kinds of music and had a soft spot for Shawn Mendes. She was also incredibly determined and hardworking, reliable, responsible, and always willing to help. She supported many local businesses when they needed an extra hand and had big dreams for her future. She planned to join the U.S. Navy after graduation and later become a canine police officer. Her love for sports and team spirit shone through every part of her life. A Georgia Bulldogs fan through and through, just like her family. Anna dreamed of one day becoming a cheerleader for the Bulldogs, sharing her radiant smile and endless energy from the sidelines in red and black. Anna's adventurous spirit showed early. She got her boater's license before she could drive, and she was a PADI certified to dive alongside her family. She started gymnastics at just 2 years old and continued through her mid-teens, even helping teach younger gymnasts at the TBJC as she got older. She attended Titusville High School, where she was a proud member of the varsity cheer team, and later Astronaut High School, before finding her home at Temple Christian School, where she was joyfully looking forward to graduating with the class of 2026. Anna was a believer, a Christian whose faith blossomed as beautiful as her smile. She attended youth at the Grove Church and was baptized at Temple in May of 2025. Her family takes comfort in knowing she's now in heaven, laughing, being the center of attention, and enjoying fries with ranch, just as she loved here on earth. She leaves behind a family who adored her endlessly: her father and stepmother, Christopher and Chantel, her mother, Heather Wright, and 𝗵𝗲𝗶𝘁𝗲, Barbara and Jeff, and her siblings, Andrew, Connor, Kylie, and Brooke, her uncle Drew and family, Uncle Grayson, and a large extended family who loved her immensely. A celebration of Anna's life will be held on the 20th. The family requests that no one wear black. Casual attire is welcome, but please wear colors in honor of Anna's bright and beautiful soul. Her favorite color was blue. In true Anna fashion, the family would like everyone to know there's no GoFundMe. In lieu of flowers for the service, friends are encouraged to leave flowers at Anna's car at Temple Christian School. Donations may be made to the family through North Brevard Funeral Home, who has been entrusted with the arrangements. The Kepner family asks for privacy and respect during this time, and to everyone to remember Anna with laughter, color, sunshine, and love, because that's exactly how she lived her life. Quote unquote, she danced in the light she left behind, and it will never fade. And that is really so sweet. But where were you all at? Whoever wrote this, where were you all at when the brother was being a perv? I don't know. That's just a question in my brain. I know, I'm not trying to be mean, but no, really, like, what the hell? With that being said, and after reading that obituary, to say hello and that turning into a fun 15-minute conversation. Losing you is heartbreaking, yet I will remain grateful for the time I had with you and the privilege of becoming part of our TCS family. Your absence will be felt every day, but your impact and memories you created will continue to live in our hearts. Love, Mr. Brunner. So that's from her school. That's how much they loved her. Anna was a kind person. You know, you can tell from the things that people are saying about her. She seems, sorry, let me read a couple of the comments you guys are saying. You guys are saying really good things. Her boyfriend said she was afraid to say anything. So my next question is, had he threatened her before? The docs above, Anna Kepner. Yeah, we're going to read the docs. Where's her biological mother? Yeah, not present. It seems a lot of young people are passing away or taking lives. What's the world becoming? It's sickening. I know. I hope her dad didn't know it, and if he did, he should be arrested. I'm sorry, guys. I think people knew. I think the father knew. I think the stepmother knew who her son was. If the boyfriend knew and the boyfriend had said something, you know, people knew. Like, I just find that crazy. Yeah, her boyfriend said he tried telling the family. Exactly. The boyfriend did say he was telling the family. So then they ignored him or what? Because then that's negligence, right? And why put him in a room together? So let's go back to actually, before we get into the timeline, let's get into the family timeline and then we'll watch the court hearing. It's awful. Yes, it is. It is awful. Okay, so let's get into the family timeline. So June 13th, birth of Anna Marie. December 28th, listen to this. I'm sorry, December 2008. It says sexual violence injunction filed against Christopher P. Kepner. Yeah. That's her dad. A SV injunction is filed against Christopher in Brevard County when Anna was approximately 18 months old when Christopher was married to Heather. The petitioner is listed as CD, meaning an adult petitioner named CD filed on behalf of a minor. So in 2008, there's a court document where Anna's father has a sexual violence injunction filed against him. That makes me feel really uncomfortable. The injunction is dismissed, okay, but still, that makes me feel really uncomfortable. Public record alias data shows that the petitioner has used the surname H at times, which is also the surname of Tabitha, who later becomes Christopher's spouse. The identity of the protected minor is not disclosed in the public record. And don't come for me. I'm not making this up. You can find this, babes, on Brevard County Injunction docket. Then, beginning of the relationship, Christopher and Tabitha. Although the exact marriage date is not listed in the docket, court filings and parenting records show that Christopher and Tabitha formed a household and shared minor children by the early of 2010. That was in 2008. 2014 to 2022. Let me pull up the timeline for you guys. My bad. Okay, now we're moving to, very Christian family. 2014 to 2022, Christopher and Tabitha raise Anna together. For much of Anna's childhood and teenage years, she resides in the household of Christopher and Tabitha. Tabitha becomes a stepmother who raises Anna. March 31st, 2023. Tabitha files for divorce from Christopher in Brevard County. August 23rd, the marriage between Christopher and Tabitha is formally dissolved. November 26th, 2024, the divorce case is reopened. A supplemental petition for modification is filed relating to parenting or support issues. November 27th, 2024, formal supplemental petition filed. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on here. I can hardly keep up. June 7th, we're fast forwarding to June 17th, 2025. Final judgment of modification entered. They reopened the case. The reopened case is concluded and closed. Mid-2025, Christopher begins relationship with Chantel. So he's only been dating her for this year. And that's the mother of the stepbrother. Chantel, born August 10th, becomes Christopher's new partner. She becomes the third maternal figure in the household and is present with Anna on the Carnival Horizon. November 17th, emergency motion. It identifies Chantel as the respondent's paramour, confirms shared household. We'll read that document. November 25th, family on board the Carnival Horizon. Christopher, Chantel, her minor child, and Anna all travel together on the cruise where Anna dies. November 17th, the FBI investigation is identified in court filing. Chantel's attorney states that the FBI is investigating the death of an 18-year-old Anna and that a criminal case may be initiated against her minor child. The minor's not identified, which is the stepbrother. And that is verified by the motion for continuance, which we will read. So that's just a little bit so you guys get like a background on everything that's been going on within this family. And this is Anna here on the left, and this is her and her family and her siblings on the right. Before we continue to move on and read the documents, I want to get into the hearing first. But before I do that, let's pull up some screenshots. Actually, let's pull up the family tree before we move to the screenshots. Because again, I think it would help. And this is a great post I found on Reddit that gives a lot of information on the family. So let me read this to you real quick. And this is for the sake of who is who. This is the best family tree I could come up with. And I thought this post was really great when I found it on Reddit. Shout out to Reddit. It's a crazy community over there, but I'm into it. And this was by Afraid Tension 3 days ago. So I'm going to read this and then we're going to watch the hearing. Heather is Anna's bio mom, was married to Chris, but allegedly he cheated on her with their then 15-year-old babysitter, ending their marriage. So Heather and Chris were married and he cheated the bio mom, the redhead, and he cheated on her with the babysitter who was Tabitha, who basically raised Anna, and it ended their marriage. So the dad was, in Melly's words, boning the babysitter. Yes, you're hearing that right. Was I there? Did I see it? No, I did not. I wasn't there. Everyone calm down. But this is what I've seen numerous times. Take it how you want, babes. Take it how you want. I still don't know why Jen Soto wasn't charged. Hashtag arrest that dumb potato. Here we are. He's just liked him. That's why he ignored what was happening to Anna. It must have been just a normal thing in the family. Yeah. She knew. I know. We're all shocked. She was, yeah, I am shook. Heather has struggled with addiction and hasn't been appropriately present in Anna's life. Heather has 2 other sons, not mentioned often outside of Anna having other brothers on her bio mom's side. Chris is Anna's biological dad. He has remained in her life, but there are questions as to whether he's raised her full time or whether she's primarily resided with her paternal grandparents, Barbara and Jeff. Tabitha is stepmom number 1. Okay, I know this is a lot. Are you guys keeping track? Are you with me here? Yes. Tabitha is stepmom 1. Speculation is that she's the babysitter Chris cheated on Heather with. There's a court filing from 2008 where Christina, Tabitha's mom, is requesting a sexual violence injunction against Chris. There you go. A sexual injunction against her dad. I wonder who that was involving. Tabitha later married Chris and raised Anna. Chris and Tabitha do have 2 children in common. Again, speculation as to who Anna primarily resided with, Chris or his parents. Christina is now married to Chris, and Chris is Martin's brother. So Martin is the one who made that X post about the family knowing. And so Chris, Martin Donahue's brother were originally mentioned in the first obituary. Step-grandma 1 and step-grandpa 2. Martin Donahue was a poster who asked for help and was the first to officially come out and state that Anna was murdered by her stepbrother. Martin is step-great-uncle 1. That's, again, the X post that we read. Kevin is Tabitha's bio dad. Are you guys catching on? So Christina is Tabitha's mom and Kevin is her bio dad. Tabitha was who raised Anna, the babysitter that her dad had an affair with. Kevin is Tabitha's bio dad. He's been arrested for attempted kidnapping of a 13-year-old child and is a registered SO. He is step-grandfather, Tabitha's bio father. So now, excuse me, am I reading that right? The grandfather has been arrested for attempt kidnapping of a 13-year-old and is a registered sex offender. Like, what? So messy. So messy. And why is there all these SOs and SA and SH, sexual harassment? Why is this all going on within this family? It's literally insane. They let her marry him. Yeah, I don't know at what age. Must have been really young. This is so crazy. Given like father, like son. Tabitha was raising a child. I'm screaming. Chantel, which is the stepmom of the stepbrother, okay, is Chris's current wife as of December 2024. She has 3 children from a previous marriage with Thomas Hudson, who is the one who files the petition we're about to read. I know, I can barely keep track. I feel like I'm drunk. With Thomas Hudson, one of the children is the suspect in Anna's death, and that's TH. We'll refer to him as TH, although we know what his name is. Melly, how do you know what his name is? I mean, google.com. If you have a problem with it, deal with it with google.com. I don't know. Okay, moving on. Sorry, I got a little aggressive there. Chantel's oldest son does not reside with her, has supposedly been no contact after an altercation involving the oldest son. And the only 2 younger children were on the cruise. Chantel is stepmom number 2, okay? Thomas is Chantel's ex-husband and father of her 3 children. So basically, Thomas has a place to talk because he has 3 kids with a psycho stepmom, Chantel, who's claiming, oh my God, my son is mentally ill. I don't know why he violently essayed someone, murdered them, and shoved them under a bed. Like, I don't know. You know, that's what I get from her. Anyways, Chantel and Thomas are going back and forth in a custody dispute, which is where all of the legal documents claim that Tim is being investigated for Anna's death. That's where it all comes from. Thomas is accusing Chantel of keeping his 2 youngest children away from him. There are letters previously written by family members validating that these were ongoing concerns. Are you confused? Does your brain hurt? Okay. I'm sorry. We needed to get all those facts of this family shitty drama going on because we need justice for Anna. Justice for Anna. Arrest her family, please. Thank you. Okay, moving on. So within that same post, before we move on to the court hearing, I wanted to get into this because it says, I'm hearing a lot of info about the dad and the stepmom is what this is called. And it says, but do we really know about them? I've seen a ton online about her bio mom, but very little about the others other than the dad being a cheater. Okay, so great. We know that. All right, we just covered that basically in the first post. And now I'm going to share screenshots of all the online talk. Family making post and screenshots. So let's actually watch the hearing first, and then we'll get into the screenshots. That poor girl surrounded. Yeah, I know. She was surrounded by PDF files and gross people and gross men. Why isn't the 16-year-old in jail? Why isn't he in a law enforcement facility / mental health facility? You know what I mean? Like, if you think I'm going to call bullshit, you guys. Like, if they're trying to say that he has mental health issues and that's why he raped her and murdered her, like, I'm not buying it. Shut up, literally, because like you already knew he had mental health issues and now is not the time to get him enrolled and try to do something about it. Like, I'm not buying it. And I stand on Chantel needs to be arrested. And if that involves her dad too, sorry, you were there for her to take her to Georgia and get her and buy her clothes. Like, at the end of the day, you all failed her. I can't get past that. He's in therapy, yeah, for what he did. And I'm just like, really? Really? I'm a little angry. Let's go over, okay, actually, let's go over the legal filings overview, and then we'll get into the hearing. The hearing's only 13 minutes is what we have available, so it's rather short. How is any of this possible? How is any of this possible when the family knew that the stepbrother had climbed into her bed? Put that boy in jail. Exactly. I'm shook. Literally shook. Okay. So let's go over the legal filings overview before we get into the documents in the court hearing. That way you have everything you need, Babelets. I got you. This is like basically everything that's all over the internets. I think I got most of it. Shout out to Crime Timelines. Okay. So the filings provide only public available acknowledgement that federal authorities consider the case potentially criminal. We know that, okay? So we're going to get into a little bit of the family drama again. 2024 legal proceedings involving Chantel, okay, the stepmom. May 22, 2004. An email alleging manipulation of children. Michelle J. sends an email to Chantel expressing serious concerns about the emotional well-being of 2 minor children, TH and B. In the email, Michelle states her belief that children have been negatively affected and manipulated or brainwashed, and that they are being placed in the middle of an ongoing conflict. So this is an ex. Yeah. This is crazy. Manipulated and brainwashed. She refers to the children as, oh, my grandchildren, quote unquote, your children, and quote unquote, Thomas's children, and urges Chantel to prioritize their stability, family connections, and emotional needs. Michelle accuses Chantel of isolating the children from family, friends, school, and references Chantel's own childhood experiences as a warning for the potential harm this could cause. So this is about the stepmom whose son did this to Anna. And this is all happening in 2024. So I don't know about you guys, but it looks to me like 2024 happens before 2025, right? And it's Sunday, November 23rd. So babes, I think May 22 is in the past. And I'm being sarcastic. What I'm saying is they effing knew. They knew. And Chantel clearly here did not have a good childhood. Could she have been a victim of the trauma in her childhood? Sure, but it doesn't mean you ignore what has been happening in your own family. I think we can all agree. We all go through shit, trauma, whatever it is. No, it's not an excuse. Okay. June 4th, 2024. Michelle repeatedly contacts Chantel requesting the return of 3 firearms that Johnson states belong to her. June 6th, 2024. Michelle J. sends a formal written notice listing the firearms and advising that court action will follow if they are not returned. June 21st. Michelle files a statement of claim in Brevard County asserting Chantel Hudson is wrongfully holding her firearms and requesting their return. Well, I'm glad. I hope she didn't have any firearms, that Chantel lady. November 17th, we're fast forwarding. November 17, 2025, dual emergency filings linked to Anna's death. Thomas files an emergency motion, which we're going to read right now. The filing states that Shauna Hudson took her minor children on a cruise with a stepchild of her paramour. Her 16-year-old child is now a suspect. The child was taken into custody and since has been released to live with third party. The filing describes a violent altercation between Chantel, the adult, and her paramour. Thomas seeks custody of the youngest child due to safety concerns and alleged violation of prior orders. Then Chantel Hudson's attorney files an emergency for continuance, which we will read. This filing states that the FBI is conducting an active investigation into the sudden death of Anna. The motion declares that Anna was found deceased on November 9th. The filing confirms that Chantel Hudson, her minor children, and Christopher were all on this cruise together. The attorney has advised Chantel that a criminal case may be initiated against one of her minor children. The filing states that any testimony Chantel gives could be prejudicial to her and her adolescent child in the FBI investigation. Chantel formally invokes her Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination. November 18th, mother's response to the father's emergency motion. Chantel Hudson files a formal response to the father's emergency motion, which we will read. This filing confirms that TH, the 16-year-old child, is a suspect in the death of Anna. The mother states that both parties signed a stipulation on November 17th for TH to live with a relative of the mother for safety reasons. I want to know why the suspect who's having mental health issues cannot be around his mother for self-incrimination. No. The response confirms there's an open, sure, but like, I think there's other reasons why. The response confirms there's an open FBI investigation involving TH and the cruise ship death. The filing says the Department of Children and Families has an open investigation into the father, Anna's father, for alleged domestic violence towards the 2 youngest children. So the stepmom's a POS, the real dad's a POS, the bio mom is over getting high somewhere with pink hair, red hair. And the grandparents don't know, do know, have an idea. I'm not coming for them because I don't know where they stand exactly, but like what the actual hell? What the actual hell? None of these people, none of those 3 people, none of these people who have been married with each other, I can't even keep track. Who goes and gets married this many times and then you have things being filed against you, domestic violence? Like, so the dad was, yeah, I guess. I don't know. We'll read the court document. The mother denies allegations of a violent altercation and states that the father previously attempted to file a protection order, which was denied. The mother states counseling has been arranged for the remaining minor child due to the traumatic event. The filing notes that Anna's funeral is scheduled for the same week and the family is grieving. The mother asks that the father's emergency motion be denied. So then we jump to November 20th, and this is the hearing that we're going to watch. An emergency custodial hearing was held in response to the motion Anna Kepner filed earlier this week, asking to postpone a hearing because of the FBI investigation into her stepdaughter Anna Kepner's death. And it says, presiding judge Michelle Studstill was told that FBI investigators were looking at Anna Kepner's 16-year-old son for having a possible connection to Anna's death. Yeah. So I have a slide that's dedicated to the key points from the hearing, and let's get into it. So we're going to watch this hearing about the family drama. Then we'll get into some screenshots. We'll get into reading some documents, and you should have everything that there is to know about this case thus far. Let me pull up this hearing. This one is crazy. And like I said, if you miss parts of it, or have a hard time understanding, I will hit on, I made a slide for the, thanks to Crime Time, the key points of the hearing. So let's get started with this hearing. Like I said, it's only 13 minutes long, and I will be screaming silently while this is going on. Screaming, and I mean in anger, because I'm tripped out about this. I don't think this new marriage is going to make it. Absolutely not, Alicia. Hi, love. If they do, most fosters are even worse. That's also true. I guess, and say the guns, maybe that's why he can't be there. Why do people like this even have GUNS? Like, why? I'm confused. The justice system fails and mental health help is even worse. Well, in Michigan, it is. Yeah, I agree. There's no mental health resources. Barely any. I know. I talk about this all the time. The trauma, mental health as a reason for being a bad person and making selfish decisions needs to stop. See, I've been there too. I have made my bad decisions, and I had dealt with those. But I feel like it is not, and I feel like that's why I could say it's not an excuse, and it's not a reason to make selfish choices. So I very much appreciate that, Kiraha. Screams in silence away. Hey, Mary Beth, good to see you, love. I think there's an issue with jurisdiction when there's a death on the cruise ship. So I was reading that the FBI, Maritime, and the state actually have jurisdiction. FBI, I think, is 1,100% involved when it's international waters. So I don't know how this will be handled with all this familial shit going on in family court. I feel like it's going to need to be rectified prior to the criminal stuff, or I don't know, maybe at the same time. There's too much going on here. So let's listen to this hearing. Like I said, it's only 13 minutes, and this is Chantal, the stepmom, the top corner. Yeah, we're not fans of her. We don't. And in this hearing, like her face, I'm just like, we have problems. Like, I don't get a genuine vibe from her.
Mr. Smith, I see you there.
This is her up here. This is the mother of the stepchild who did this to Anna. I got nothing nice to say. So, like my mama said, if you got nothing nice to say, Melly, please just shut the fuck up. Okay.
There, is that Mr. Hudson there with you, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And Miss, are you Miss Hudson, or is it Miss Kepner?
Miss Kepner.
All right. And then I see it appears as though Miss Nathanison, am I saying that correctly?
Yes, sure. It's Nathanison. Yeah.
Nathanison. I see you on the line, but your camera is not working for me. I can't see you. Is Mr. Smith, are you able to see Miss Nathanison?
No, we have the same thing. A camera with a line through it.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm having problems. I'm not in my office. I'm at another location and I can't get my camera to work. I do apologize.
That's okay. Unless I hear an objection from Mr. Smith, we'll go ahead and proceed with just the audio. I was having my own technical difficulties earlier as well. So we're here in case number 2024 DR 52505 for a case management conference on an emergency motion for temporary relief, docket number 24, that was filed by Mr. Hudson, and the mother's response to the father's emergency motion for temporary relief, docket number 25, that was filed by Ms. Kepner. I'd like to hear from you, Mr. Smith, and as to the emergency situation here, and how much time you believe you'll need for a hearing on the matter.
Well, Your Honor, we are, so the court is aware, we are set on December 17th in front of the magistrate on my
On the
earlier
for
motion.
that's on a motion for contempt, correct? But my
Correct.
understanding is it was just that motion that was referred to the general magistrate. So this matter would be heard before me.
Okay, Your Honor. I just wanted to make sure the court was aware of all the
Yes.
proceedings going on. And as far as the situation in this case, if the court isn't aware that apparently this has been made national news, and Your Honor, there's a person, John Martinez, present. Is that court personnel?
Yes, Mr. Martinez is court personnel. Yes, sir.
Okay. So in terms of what has happened, we've indicated through our other motions that my client is being denied his parenting time with the two younger children. However, it's come to our attention and we're not aware of the full details. And again, there's apparently an FBI investigation ongoing that the mother took the two younger children on a cruise, and that the older child, who's approximately 16 years of age, is a suspect in the death of the stepchild, an 18-year-old daughter that was in the same room, staying in the same room on the cruise ship. So we're very concerned with those circumstances. The parties have agreed for the 16-year-old is now placed with a maternal relative, so not with either parent, with a third party here in our area up near Hernando County.
So with a maternal relative, the 16-year-old is with a maternal relative?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and so really what's at issue in your emergency motion is the youngest child?
Correct, Your Honor.
And what would be, if the 16-year-old is in the care of someone else, is not with mom, what would be the emergency in the court needing to address the issue as to the youngest child?
Well, we feel there are some circumstances regarding that, the 16-year-old and the mother's judgment regarding that cruise that would affect, obviously that her ability to care for the minor child, the 9-year-old.
Yeah, look at this clown up here. Like, what?
In that she's making some bad choices and obviously alienating the child from the father as well. Your Honor, it's our understanding.
Well, I think we're talking about two different things. So we're talking about not getting time sharing. That's one issue, and that certainly wouldn't be considered an emergency for the court's purposes. And you do have your motion pending in December with regard to that. I think my question is really addressing more the emergency motion that was filed, not so much the mom denying the time sharing, but really the
Why judge, Miss Pretty Lady Judge with the black hair, like, just shut up respectfully. Arrest the mother, no custody rights. Father down there, I don't know, questionable, just no rights, nothing. Okay, court adjourned, none of you get custody. We'll wait for the mental health hearing and then arrest the 16-year-old. Good thing I'm not a judge.
safety of the 9-year-old and whether or not the court needs to hear that on an emergency basis.
Well, Your Honor, it's our understanding that because the cruise was in international waters, that the young child, not the 9-year-old, but the 16-year-old was allowed to drink. You
guys, I wanted to let you know too, in case you're thinking of going on a cruise ship and you're underage, which none of you are here because this channel is for adults only. It says he was 16. Was he allowed to drink and behave in this behavior? We all know we like to, I used to drink alcohol at high school. So don't judge me. I get it, whatever. But their website clearly states that whether it's in international waters or wherever the hell the cruise is at, their drinking age is 21. So I did just want to let you guys know that on the Carnival website, it does say that. So if the stepbrother's having mental health issues and drinking alcohol, whose fault is that? It's not Beautifully Broken Chit's fault. It's not my fault. I mean, you know what I mean?
Teenagers were given their own room in which to stay. Just a lot of circumstances that showed that the mother in this case was not exercising appropriate supervision over this child, or the other child involved.
Okay. How much time do you believe it would take you to put on your case in chief on your emergency motion for temp relief?
A half an hour, Your Honor.
And what witnesses do you intend to call?
Well, at this point, Your Honor, it would be the father. I think the 16-year-old, we don't really want to put him in the middle of it.
That's interesting. He just says, I went on a cruise and was 18 and was able to drink, and so was my sister at 14. See what I mean? I mean, it's like bringing alcohol into the football game, you know? Or pre-gaming in the parking lot. Don't do that. This was back in the day, but you know.
But I may have to call him as to some of the circumstances.
Well, and you recognize
I love how you guys are all confessing to me. I got drunk on a Disney cruise at 17. That really is crazy because I'm like the most wild person you'll probably ever meet in your life. But if I was underage and drunk on a cruise ship, my dad would probably freak out.
of course, that the court would need to approve that in advance, given that the court must give permission in order for the minor child to testify.
Yes, Your Honor. And then obviously I think I can elicit most of the testimony from the former wife and the stepfather as well.
So you intend to call 3, if not potentially 4 witnesses. The mother.
I think there's a lot more than just like the drinking and the age part too, right? I believe wholeheartedly that the family knew that there was mental health issues. And that's where my thing comes in with the drinking. Okay, fine. If you want to be a cool parent and you want to do whatever you want, like whatever, fine. We did it too. But like if your son has mental health issues and there's previous claims that he has been out of pocket, if I may, with Anna, don't put him on a cruise ship drinking together in the same room. And Calissa says, you know, there had to be an 18-year-old in the room with kids. That's fair. Again, why was the stepbrother who had been accused of being weird with her in there? And if that's the case, then the parents should have stepped up and been like, okay, fine, we'll be there, or we'll call it a night, or whatever. You know what I mean? I just think that with the details and the factors that we know of mental health and then all this family drama, I just feel like that's what creates the problem of having an underage child drinking and having fun on this cruise ship that eventually led to attacking her and suffocating her, literally, and killing her and putting her under the bed, because she didn't do that to herself. I was listening to a podcast where they were like, well, we don't know if there's foul play. I think, was it Law and Crime? I think it was. And the person was like, if there was foul play. And I was like, I thumbs downed it, because I was like, excuse me? Like, what do you mean if there was? A dead person doesn't just come out from under the bed from the blankets and then cover themselves with life jackets after the fact. So there was definitely foul play, and she did not do that to herself. And why that creeper stepbrother was allowed in her room, I don't know. Like, why couldn't it have just been her and her bio brother? You know what I mean? If they knew there was an issue going on. It's called negligence.
The stepfather, the father, and possibly the minor child, the 16-year-old.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so I don't know how we do that in half an hour.
Well, you said yeah, I understand my side of the case.
Yeah. All right. Ms. Athanasson, would you like to be heard with regard to your response as well as time to put on your side of the case?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. There is currently an FBI investigation as well with regard to the 16-year-old, and as well as there was a DCF involvement, and there's a DCF open investigation on the father in this case. The FBI has cleared my client from any wrongdoing. She's not considered a suspect in this matter at all.
Yet.
I would have difficulty in them putting the 16-year-old on the stand, because I don't want anything done that would incriminate the young man. Mom, immediately after the incident, he was hospitalized, and then when released from the hospital, mom and dad participated too. They signed a stipulation basically allowing him to live with mom's relative.
That is a huge red flag to me. Like, okay, so right after the incident, he finally needs mental help. You're finally going to get him. And then he's released. So it's contradicting itself. If he was that mentally ill, he would not have been released. Could you see what I'm saying? And maybe the defense will do this. But because if he was mentally ill, they would keep him in a facility or etc. You know what I mean? So clearly he wasn't that mentally ill. He was able to be let out and attend therapy sessions. Therapy for murdering someone. I'm like, something seems wrong with that, because I definitely did not take therapy for those reasons. But bullshit. They're all suspects. Exactly. Okay, I'll shut up and finish this.
And they're getting counseling and so forth for him. So I don't see that there's any emergency relative to the youngest child. The issue that counsel raised about drinking, there are videotapes on the ship that confirm that there was absolutely no drinking, and that and DCF investigated and saw that there was no alcohol in mom's house whatsoever. So I'm not sure where that's coming from, but if that's the case, I would think in order for me to move forward on that motion, I would need to subpoena the DCF worker and possibly the FBI investigator as to those issues, as well as the mother and the stepfather. So those are all,
So you'd have
witnesses.
you'd have 4 witnesses as well.
That is correct.
Subpoena all of them. Bring them all into court under oath. Like, at this point, with all the marriage and all these accusations, like, I don't trust anyone in the family here. I think Anna was absolutely 1000% failed, and I'm really pissed off about it. Like, I'm really pissed off about it. Okay, that was my little.
Your Honor, and
Thank you for
I would
listening.
think, at least on my end, and I mean, I'm going to think it would need at least an hour and a half. I mean, because it seems like an hour seems like a long time, but it's not really when you start putting witnesses on the stand.
For me, I'm thinking this is a 2.5 to 3 hour hearing by the
Yes.
sounds of it.
Yes.
I do believe that I need to hear this on an emergency basis. So I will ask my judicial assistant, what is the first available time I have to hear this? Ms. Opperman? December 1st at 9 a.m.
Can I speak? Timothy has a psychiatrist appointment on December 1st.
Ma'am, just a second. Hold on. I want you to be able to talk with your attorney before you speak. If she says it's okay for you to speak,
Okay.
I'm okay with that, but I think you need to run that by her first.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, I have a hearing at 9:45 in Pasco County on a motion for contempt that I have to be in person for. So I can't be available at 9 a.m.
Okay, well, this is an emergency motion, so that this would certainly trump the motion for contempt in Pasco County.
Okay. I mean, I would have to ask the judge's office. If they would allow the continuance.
Is it your motion?
No, I'm defending it.
All right. What else do I have, Ms. Opperman? I have December the 5th at 9 a.m.
I can do that.
Mr. Smith,
Yes, Your Honor, that's fine.
is that going to give you ample time, Ms. Athanasson, to subpoena the folks you need with the FBI and DCF?
I'm hoping, I don't know, with the Thanksgiving holiday, I can't fully and honestly answer that question. I know I can get subpoenas served, but I don't know what will happen beyond that point.
Okay, so do I have all morning, just in the event that we need it? Okay, so what we'll do is we'll schedule the hearing on the emergency motion for temporary relief. It'll be set on December the 5th at 9 a.m. in the morning. We'll It'll be set from 9 a.m. until 12 p.m. That should give you ample time to issue any subpoenas that you need. If it is your intent, Mr. Smith, to have the minor child testify, you'll need to file a motion in advance of that. In all honesty, I would anticipate that the child will choose not to testify and will invoke his Fifth Amendment right. But I don't know. But if you are intending to call him, you will need to file a motion with the court prior to the hearing.
Yes, Your Honor. And I'll further discuss that with my client. He may choose not to call the child.
Okay. Is there anything I need to address then?
Not to call the child. And the person in the corner is little Chantel's attorney.
Anything else, Mr. Smith?
Is that going to be in person, Your Honor, or virtual?
That will be in person. Yes, it will be here at the Moore Justice Center in person.
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything else, Ms. Athanasson?
Yes, I did file a motion for non-dissemination. The press has been hounding both myself and my client.
So Chantel's like, I don't want no media around. Of course you don't. Of course you don't. That's what that means.
I don't know about opposing
Okay,
counsel.
let me let you know this, Ms. Athanasson. I am in an open courtroom, and it appears to be, I have several members of the press here currently. I have not reviewed that motion. When did you file it?
It would have been filed yesterday.
Okay. I will review that, but I will advise you that there are some folks that appear to be from the press here today.
Okay.
All right. So if I could get you, Mr. Smith, to do the notice of hearing for the hearing on 12/5 at 9 a.m. for me.
Yes, Your Honor.
And file any additional motions if you intend to have the minor child testify.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you very much. That concludes the proceedings.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Interesting. Wow. Yeah. They don't want the press. Too bad. So sad, man. It's too late. We got all the documents. We already know about your family dysfunction, and we know about the nasty things that have been going on. Okay. Anyways, moving on. I'm going to share a few screenshots before we get into the legal documents. This one I found on Reddit, and it's from her big daddy, which is Krista's brother. And he made this post on Reddit. Sorry, let me pull up the right one. Okay. This one's the one I wanted to share with you guys. So this one, it was from her big daddy. I don't know why his name is her big daddy. It sounds effing disgusting. But anyways, it sounds like a corn nickname or a pedo nickname or username. Sorry. It's her big daddy says you would have, let me see if I can zoom in. No, it won't let me because it's Reddit. Okay, so it says her big daddy says you would have had to put her above the drugs and bad decisions. And we all know, sorry guys. Okay, it says you would have had to put her above the rugs and bad decisions, and we all know that didn't happen. I thought you would have been a mother, but you proved us all wrong. By the way, how's your sons? Oh, sorry, you don't know because you're not in their lives either. You had chances to be a mom for 18 effing years, and now is when you want to step in and harass her father over not calling you to notify. I mean, where would they even find you? Jail, a rug house, street corner, selling that nasty ass for a fix? It's my understanding that you plan to show up. And I'm warning you now that we will not be having any bullshit at my niece's celebration of life. So it's probably best you stay away. Anything takes away from Anna's day, and I will personally have you escorted out. So that was towards Anna's bio mom from Chris's brother. So Anna's bio dad. You guys keeping track? Okay, good. I know you guys are little smart little cookies in the chat. Okay. That was interesting. Now let's read the next one. We're just reading all the posts. We're being nosy. We want to educate ourselves. Okay. This one, it's rather interesting. There's too much going on here, man. Okay. Let's read this one. This one says, okay, this is tagging her mom at one hot little mess. Remember the bio mom, the redhead, the TikTok I showed you at the beginning. Is Martin Donahue the uncle of Anna? He's making claims about her death on X. I'm just wondering if he is really her uncle or doing this for attention. And her big daddy responds and says, he is not her uncle and never was. It was said they were attacking Anna's dad and stepmom from every angle for personal gain. Her father has fought like hell to give her the best life he could. And when I say that Anna had whatever she wanted and couldn't want for anything, I mean that wholeheartedly. Sorry, I lost my place. There are a lot of nobodies gasping to my niece's name because she's getting covered worldwide and they see a chance to get their social media accounts liked and shared for their own benefit. Meanwhile, the rest of us are trying to mourn a loss and celebrate Anna's life. Okay, now let's read the next one. This one is interesting because it's regarding the cruise. Well, it all is. What are you talking about, Melanie? All right. Okay, so this one says, these are just like random posts too that so this one says, my little brother was on this cruise. So this is from someone else that knows about the cruise. My little brother was on this cruise and was friends with one of the brothers named Connor. Connor told my brother that the stepbrother had a crush on Anna, which leads me to believe he tried to make a move on her and she rejected him, resulting in her death. He wrapped her up in a bedsheet and stuffed her lifeless body under a bed and piled life jackets on top of her. He then proceeded to sleep on said bed. There was word of her cause of death being strangulation. Then Anna's uncle came out saying that the truth would be revealed on November 20th because Anna's stepmom and father wanted to be at her celebration of life. But with the dad and stepmom protecting the stepbrother, that would hold them from being able to attend the celebration of life. Anyways, this is all hard to say, but it's starting to make sense if you really look into it. I think they're going to have a lot more to have to give explanations for than just the cruise ship here. I think a lot of what was going on within this family needs to come to light like it is and be handled appropriately. Okay, that was it for the screenshots. Now we're going to, I wanted to share the key points of the hearing before we go into the legal documents. So the key points from the hearing, so we can keep track because we're going to keep covering this. The underlying situation, the case has garnered national attention news. The mother took the two younger children on a cruise, and the older child, approximately 16 years old, who is the father's son, is a suspect in the death of the 18-year-old stepchild who was in the same room on the cruise ship. There's an ongoing FBI investigation. The 16-year-old, the parties have agreed that the 16-year-old is now living with maternal relative, not with either parent, and is receiving counseling. His attorney, Ms. Anison, is concerned about him being called to testify and potentially incriminating himself, noting he was hospitalized after the incident. Yeah, I think at some point he should be able to testify. Mr. Hudson's emergency motion primarily concerns the youngest child, a 9-year-old. Mr. Smith argues that the emergency stems from the mother's bad choice regarding the cruise, including allegations that the 16-year-old was allowed to drink in international waters and that teenagers were given their own room, suggesting a lack of appropriate supervision. Mr. Smith also mentions the mother is quote unquote alienating the child from the father. So what's Chantel's defense? Miss Thanison states that the FBI has cleared her client, the mother, of any wrongdoing and she is not a suspect. She denies the drinking allegations, stating there are videotapes from the ship that confirm absolutely no drinking, and a DCF investigation found there's no alcohol in the mother's house. She also notes there is a DCF open investigation on the father. Both sides intend to call multiple witnesses, 3 to 4 each, including parents, stepfather, and potentially the 16-year-old. The court estimates the hearing will need 2 to 3 hours, and the judge determines it needs to be heard on an emergency basis. Scheduling. After the first suggested date of December 1st at 9 a.m. was declined due to scheduling conflicts, the judge scheduled the hearing on December 5th at 9 a.m. Motion for non-dissemination. Ms. Thanison mentions filing a motion for non-dissemination due to the press hounding her and her client. The judge notes she has not reviewed the motion, but there are members of the press currently in the courtroom. The next step is Mr. Smith is instructed to prepare and file the notice of hearing and any necessary motion if he intends to have the minor child testify, which is crazy. All right. Last but not least is the court documents. So let's get into those. There's one from 2023 that we might read later if we can have enough time. I do want to get into this one filed November 17th, emergency motion for continuance of hearing on petitioner's motion for contempt and enforcement. So I'm going to share this screen with you and we are going to read it. It's only a couple pages, so I know this is disturbing. He needs to be arrested. She had bruises on her. I know. I'm screaming. I'm like, how is he allowed to be out right now? Doesn't make any sense. Okay, so this is the hearing or the document. Chantel Hudson, Anna Kepner motion. Comes now the respondent Chantel by and through undersigned counsel files a motion for continuance, which is set December 17th to be rescheduled. The undersigned counsel is the attorney of record and has been retained by the respondent in this action. An extremely sensitive and severe circumstance has arisen where the respondent/mother will not be able to testify at the hearing at this time. Currently, there is an investigation being conducted by the FBI arising out of the sudden death of 18-year-old Anna Kepner, who was found deceased on November 9th, 2025 on a Carnival cruise. Ms. Kepner, the deceased, is a daughter of the respondent's paramour, and the respondent and the minor child of this instant action were all on the cruise ship together. So I have to sneeze. Okay, excuse me, I had to sneeze. Number 3, the respondent has been advised through discussions with the FBI investigators and her attorneys that a criminal case may be initiated on one of the minor children of this instant action. 4, the respondent's privilege against self-incrimination must be invoked pursuant to Florida. Quote unquote, no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Any testimony the respondent may give, either written or oral, could be prejudicial to her or her adolescent child and the pending criminal investigation. Therefore, the respondent cannot be compelled to testify. So they wanted a reschedule. It says, the counsel requests that this court continue to reschedule the hearing on petitioner's emergency motion set for December 17th to be continued until the criminal investigation has been concluded and any other relief it determines to be reasonable and just. And this was signed by her attorney, Chantel's attorney. Let's move on to, that was a very short one, but I wanted to make sure we read them all. So we're going to move on to the next document. This one is also on November 17th, Thomas Hudson versus Chantel Hudson. Emergency for temporary relief. So let me share that with you guys. Okay, this one, also only a few pages, we'll get through it pretty fast, says the petitioner, Thomas Hudson, by and through undersigned attorney, moves his honorable court for temporary relief on emergency basis and as grounds therefore does state. There are 2 remaining minor children that are subject to action, to wit, TH and BH. TH is the one who allegedly strangled Anna. The oldest child of the parties reached age 18 while in the care of the petitioner. The adult child of the parties alleged a violent altercation between himself, the mother, and her paramour that led him to residing with the petitioner. The party's 16-year-old child has been residing with the respondent. The respondent has denied the petitioner's time sharing with the remaining minor children. The respondent took the remaining minor children on a cruise ship with a stepchild of her paramour. The 16-year-old child is now suspect in the death of the stepchild during the cruise. While released from custody, the 16-year-old is residing with a third party. The parties were granted a final judgment of dissolution of marriage on February 21, 2023 in Lee County, despite the parties residing during the marriage in Hernando County. An order ratifying joint stipulation to modify parenting time was entered April 10th in 2024. The joint stipulation to modify parenting time was made in order of the court. The petitioner was already ordered to have parenting time with the children. The respondent is denying the petitioner parenting time with the 2 youngest children and has denied his ordered parenting time since her relocation. So Chantel was already failing the courts, meaning basically to meet her requirements. And I'm wondering if maybe she was keeping this all, she was acting like this because she knew that her son was a PDF file and didn't want the other children talking. I mean, that's a possibility too. I'm reaching, but it's a possibility. The respondent is willfully violating the orders of the court. The respondent is continuing to alienate the 2 youngest children from the petitioner. The parties' agreement regarding relocation was supposed to be reviewed at the end of the 2024-2025 school year. The 16-year-old's future has been put in jeopardy because of the choices made by the respondent. Well, the 16-year-old, if he wasn't a schmurder, I think we would be good. The petitioner has not allowed input into children's life, and his lack of involvement has negatively impacted the children. The youngest child is at immediate risk of abuse, abandonment, or neglect in the care of the respondent. So Chantel, who I clearly am not a fan of, was just being a shitty mother all the way across the board and was failing to follow what the court wanted and was keeping things a secret. And now she's going to sit up there sitting quietly, acting like her shit don't stink. And literally, honestly, I think Chantel should be held 1000% accountable and responsible for her mentally ill, allegedly, child doing this. The petitioner has retained the undersigned attorney and is duly indebted to the same for the reasonable fees and costs incurred in this matter, whereas the petitioner requests the court enter an order for placing the youngest child in the care of the petitioner, adjusting the placement of the 16-year-old child, awarding the father additional parenting time based upon the denial of parenting time, requiring that the parties cooperate with appropriate services for the minor children, and awarding the petitioner's attorney's fees and costs to be paid by the respondent. Yeah. Okay, so that was the next one. Now, she most definitely should be sitting in jail. Yeah, I agree. They saw red flags and ignored them. Exactly, Walk-in Love. They saw a lot of red flags and ignored them. Hey, abuelitas. Yes. This next one was filed the day after the ones we just read. So this one's November 18th. Also a couple pages. Let's read this one. Okay. So this one is mother's response to father's emergency motion. So this is what Chantel has to say. Chantel says, there are in fact, two minor children of the parties, TH, a male child born in 2009, and BH, a female child born in 2016. The third and eldest child of the parties has reached the age of 18. However, the father came and removed that child from the mother's care without her consent, even after the father signed and agreed to a modification of the parenting plan of the parties to allow the mother to relocate with all three then minor children to Brevard County. In fact, the father allowed the eldest child of the parties to reside with the child's teenage girlfriend. The father hindered, wait, what? The father allowed the eldest child of the parties to reside with the child's teenage girlfriend. The father hindered the mother's ability to see the eldest child, claiming that the eldest child did not want to see her after he already signed an agreement to allow the mother to relocate with all three minor children. There was no violent altercation between the mother and the eldest child of the parties as referenced. In fact, the father, the petitioner, attempted to file a petition for protection against DV against the mother, claiming that the mother tried to hit the eldest child of the parties while in the vehicle. But the court denied said petition as the mother and stepfather were simply preventing the child from attempting to jump out of the car as he wanted to stay in Hernando County so as to be with his girlfriend. Okay, so there was clearly behavioral issues, and this response states that. So Chantel, there was issues going on with your children. The mother has not at any time denied the father time sharing per the modified parenting plan, except on the date that the mother initially relocated to Brevard County. The father has not come nor made any arrangements to come from time sharing with the two remaining minor children. However, the two remaining minor children have each told their father that they do not wish to visit him with him due to the issues of domestic violence. Currently, there is an open DCF investigation against the petitioner father due to issues of physical domestic violence by the father against the two youngest children. It is true that there is an open investigation regarding the death of the biological daughter of the stepfather, and TH is a suspect regarding his death, which occurred recently on a cruise ship. With regard to the minor child, TH, the parties signed a stipulation on or above November 17th that the minor child, TH, will be living with a relative of the respondent, Chantel, the mother. This was to ensure the safety of the youngest child of the parties, as well as the safety of the remaining child of the stepfather. The respondent father is believed to have hired counsel for the minor child, TH, due to the alleged incident involving TH and the death of the child of the stepfather. Thus, the petitioner/father is well aware and has participated in the immediate safety concerns, and he has in fact agreed to the placement of TH with the mother's relative. The mother is also providing counsel for the remaining children regarding his tragic situation. Again, the father is aware of all of this. As stated, there's an open FBI investigation involving TH. However, there are no allegations that the mother abused, neglected, or abandoned either of the minor children, or that she failed to protect the minor children. The father currently has scheduled a hearing for December with regard to time sharing issues. The mother is seeking to continue that hearing due to the allegations against and the open FBI investigation regarding TH. The funeral services for the deceased daughter of the stepfather are scheduled for this week, and the family is grieving. If DCF thought there were any issues regarding the mother's ability to appropriately parent the child, they would be required to take action accordingly. No such actions have been taken, nor have they advised her that she is at risk to lose her children in any way. Okay, well, this chill out. I'm gonna say chill out to Mr. Thanos in here, because like she's acting like DCF never failed nobody. Never failed no kids. Hey Joker, good to see you. We know that the child system is caca. We know it's shit, pretty much. And we need that whole system to be revamped. Anyways, that's a whole nother issue we can talk about another time. Again, there is no emergency at this juncture in the matter. If the father still intends to pursue, same should be set on the court's calendar. It is certainly not the best interest of TH, the alleged schmurder, that any statements regarding the matter that is the subject of the open investigation be discussed at a civil court proceeding. It is not known why the father brings up as part of his emergency hearing that the case was filed in Lee County. The matter of venue has already been addressed by the court in Lee County, and court in Lee County ordered the venue of the case to be transferred to Brevard. So that was Chantel's response to Thomas Hudson, her ex. Yeah, child services. Thank you. Let me see what you guys are saying. I love how anyone can just have kids. I know, it's disgusting. Yes, Jen Soto should have been arrested too. Why would she get married while having all of these problems? And that's the thing, Alicia. It's like, figure your shit out, get it together, focus on your children, and stop worrying about being alone. You know, it stems from more deeply rooted issues. But again, we can talk about that later. I'm not sure how I feel all about this. It's effing horrid. I just feel like there's a way more to this, and Anna was failed, but we are missing pieces. We are. I agree, Cuff. Child services sucks. They'll fail more times than not. I think they failed like in every aspect that I've ever known them in, but whatever. Failure after failure resulting in children dying. And this goes back to Gabrielle Hernandez. Do we remember Gabrielle Hernandez? Oh, I can't talk about that case on here. I just can't. I'm sorry. It deserves to be talked about to this day, but I can't do it. It would make me cry too much. I had my son age 16, got my tubes tied at age. So Beautifully Broken, just like, this is what you do. There are too many things going on in this case. There will be so much drama. What about Anna? Thank you, Alicia. I know we're reading this like shit. Are we all up in family court? Yes, we are. Because now I'm going to read to you guys a petition from 2023, March 31st, 2023. And this is between Tabitha and Christopher. So this is between Anna's dad, bio dad, and then stepmom who raised her. If you don't remember, Tabitha is the one that was the babysitter. So that in itself is questionable. You know, why was the dad having an affair with the babysitter? I don't know. Let me know if you know. Or yeah, let me know. Please share. And I'm being sarcastic, but let me let me pull up this last document we're going to be reading. I do want to read, even if it's from 2023, we're going to read it because it involves family drama that's going to play into this case. Petition for dissolution of marriage. So it's from Tabitha Kepner. It says, number one, this action is for dissolution of bonds of marriage between the petitioner, Tabitha Kepner, and Christopher. Both parties are over the age of 18 and 18 years, and neither is nor has been within a period of 30 days immediately prior to the date of filing of this action in the military. Neither is mentally incompetent. The petitioner is a resident of Florida. The marriage of the parties is irretrievably broken. The parties were married to each other on May 28, 2011. The two have two minor children born to the parties, the subject of this action, to wit, CDK and KMK. There are no additional children expected, and the wife is not now pregnant. There were no children adopted by the parties, nor are there any pending adoption actions by either of the parties. The present address is this, the dates and address for the past 5 years. Okay, so then it proves their address. 10, the petitioner has not participated as a party, witness, or in any other capacity in any other litigation concerning the custody of minor children in the state, and has no information of any custody proceeding concerning the children pending in a court of this or any other state. The petitioner knows of no person not a party to this action who has physical custody of the child or claims to have custody of or visitation rights with respect to the children. Further, the petitioner acknowledges that she has a continuing duty to advise the court of any custody, visitation, or time-sharing, child support, or guardianship, child neglect, etc., concerning the children in state or any other state which is information obtained during this proceeding. At the time of filing this petition, there is an ongoing investigation by the Department of Children and Families. The petitioner is without knowledge of whether a case has been opened involving that investigation. The petitioner is seeking an order establishing a parenting and time-sharing plan which would allow the children to solely or primarily reside with the petitioner and which would allow the respondent to spend substantial supervised time with the children. both temporary and permanent. The petitioner is requesting that the court establish a parenting plan for the minor children that at minimum describes in adequate detail about how the parties will share and be responsible for the daily tasks associated with the upbringing of the minor child, the time sharing schedule, specifying the time sharing that the child will share with each parent, a designation of which parent will be responsible for healthcare, school-related matters. It is in the children's best interest that they have contact with both parents. The respondent has a history of abuse, so they're saying Chris, Anna's bio dad, has a history of abuse towards minor children and toward the petitioner. So Tabitha is claiming, hey, Jamie, we've missed you. Good to see you. So Tabitha is like, nah. Chris is a shitty dad. He lays hands on children and me. Florida, Jesse Lynn. So I know this was filed in 2023, but I question the dad as well. And I think that's fair. We have the right to. It says the respondent has a history of abuse toward the minor children and toward the petitioner. It would be detrimental to the children for the parties to have shared parental responsibility. Therefore, the petitioner is seeking sole parental responsibility. So Tabitha's like, no, I got custody. I want custody. The petitioner is seeking an order establishing child support in accordance with child support guidelines. The petitioner is requesting that the court issue an order which entitles her to declare the minor children as dependents on her federal income tax. The petitioner is requesting that the respondent furnish life insurance as security for the payment of child support. The petitioner respectfully requests that the court enter an order allocating the responsibility of the parties regarding health and hospitalization insurance for the child, both temporary and permanent. The parties have obtained certain assets and have incurred certain debts and liabilities during the course of the marriage, which should be equitably distributed among the parties in accordance with Florida Statute 61.75. The parties own a marital property with a street address as defined. The property is a marital asset and should be equally distributed. Pursuant to Florida statute, the award of alimony is presumed to be appropriate. And then it says the petitioner has the need and the respondent has the commensurate ability to contribute to the petitioner's support. So she's basically like, he can afford it. As a result of the length of marriage, disparity in the parties' incomes and earning potentials, established standard of living, the financial resource available to the parties, the petitioner needs and seeks alimony. The petitioner currently has an exclusive use of a vehicle, possession of a vehicle and in need. Social Security, Tabitha Kepner. The standing temporary domestic order relations is incorporated by reference into this position for dissolution of marriage. The petitioner has been required to hire an attorney. The petitioner has the need and respondent has the commensurate ability to continue. The petitioner is seeking an order for attorney's fees. It would be unjust for the court to delay the entry of a final judgment. Petitioner respectfully requests that the Honorable Court enter a final judgment, finds the marriage to be irretrievably broken, and dissolving the bonds of marriage between the two parties. Yeah. Mainly, we already read the part that I wanted you guys to read about the abuse. So we know that there was major issues with Chris and all of his exes and the females involved in Anna's life. And I think I got through everything. Yay! And this is Anna on the screen. So sad. R.I.P. Anna. I hope she gets true justice. I'm so sad about her situation. You know, how she went out that night, I don't know. They say no signs of SA in the court documents. I don't believe that. I think if there's sexual assault, it probably was not going to be brought up until later because maybe because of the ages. I don't know, but I don't believe that it wasn't present. I think that that's what caused her to be murdered. I think that maybe he tried to make a move on her. She denied him. Maybe she was sleeping and he got onto her. And she tried to protect herself, and that could have been the banging and the noises, and then he choked her out with an arm. I mean, they said that much. And the medical examiner knows that it was an arm that asphyxiated her. So, you know, it wasn't Barney's arm. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, who was in the room with her? Okay. So justice for Anna. this is a heavy case and it is insane. Wasn't the little brother in the room too? Yeah, and he had left and he had heard noises, but again, I'm wondering if there was threats, if this stepbrother had threatened them before, how bad the actual family drama was at home, because, saying and acting is one thing, but then what's actually going on at home is a different thing, right? And I think we can all agree on that. So I think Chantel and TH need to be arrested. And I think Chris as well. If they find out that they completely 1000% knew about all of this going on with TH and Anna, they need to arrest them. They really do. Hey, young Black economist. Yes. Please make sure to replay. I have to go backwards. Yeah, we've covered a lot. We covered, holy crap. Yeah. We've covered like all the Reddit stuff, all the docs, basically a timeline. We have gone into it. So, yes, RIP Anna. So I will continue to keep you guys updated on this case, whatever happens. I don't know if we'll have access to the court hearing on December 5th because it's a family thing, like family court thing. Nonetheless, I think the stepbrother needs to be arrested. And maybe get a mental health treatment while he's incarcerated. But anyways, shout out to all of you guys for being here. And for those of you just getting here, please replay. Shout out to the replay viewers and the members. We're going to continue to cover this. RIP Anna, justice for Anna, no justice for Chantel, TH, Chris, none of the above. Not me being petty. What's new? Okay. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys for being here and listening to me yap about this case for the last almost 3 hours. I think it's important. And I literally scoured the internet for everything I can. So now you guys know and have all the information. Thanks for having this early. Yes, I will be live early. So if you were sick of me or were missing me, don't worry, babes. I'm here. I'm back. I will be live during the day, during the week, a lot more. That will be something we talk about on the second channel. Don't forget, I will be launching that either today or tomorrow. I will give you guys the link for the second channel and all things crazy fun over there. So I appreciate you guys for being here. Please make sure you hit the like button. Make sure your notifications are turned on. We do have more Kenzie lives later. They are scheduled. So I will see you guys shortly on the next one. Thank you for being here, and shout out to all of you for being great supporters. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.